Hello, everyone, and welcome to Deeply Simple. My name is Vidushi Sandhir, and I'm so glad that you're here. At Deeply Simple, we do what's in the name. We break down deep concepts around wellness, mindfulness, into simple and easy to understand habits, routines, and tools that are not only effective but also time efficient. Everything that I discuss here has been tried by me through my journey of healing and wellness over the years. Have you caught yourself thinking that the month or the year went by very quickly? I have. So many things happened in 2021. But it seems like only yesterday, it was February of 2021. I don't think I can keep track of the number of times I've told my friends that the year went by really fast. Time is an extremely valuable and intangible concept in our human existence. We know this. We all know this. We are reminded of this during big life and death events, or even during each birthday and New Year's Eve. We cannot control time. And by saying this, I am not making a drastic revelation. We can, however, influence in some way the quality of that time, irrespective of external events and circumstances. I have an invitation for you. The invitation is to start thinking about time, not just in the form of the to-do lists you crossed off, the bonuses you received, or big life changes you made. These are all great and more power to you. But also thinking about time in the form of quality of that time. The invitation is to start looking at time not just as a construct of the clock, but as the construct of the quality in the seconds, the minutes, the hours. These seconds, minutes, and hours determine the quality of our year, and the years determine the quality of our life. I have a quick question. If you could name the quality of yesterday, what would it be? If you could name the predominant qualities in last year, what would they be? So how do we get here? How do we start thinking about time in terms of quality? Well, like most major shifts, we start small. What if, and humor me here, we could ask a simple question, one question, every week? What if the answer to that question allowed us to spend 30 minutes in a world where you are not being run by external events, and there was no other goal than to truly feed in a quality of your choice into your time, a quality that nourishes and nurtures your soul? You must have heard that whatever we give our attention to grows. Naturally then, if we decide to give our attention to a specific quality, then chances are that quality would increase in our life. So the question is, what quality do I want to nourish and nurture in my time this week? I'm going to repeat it one more time. What quality do I want to nourish and nurture in my time this week? Simple. This can be interpreted in so many ways, and I encourage you to run with whatever comes up without judging it. There is no model, there is no template, there are no rules. Whatever comes up, try to break it down into something that you can answer for a week's time. This is just an attempt to make it more digestible, something that we can actually execute on. Here are some ways in which you might hear the answer to this question. Some of you might want to nourish the quality of playfulness and laughter. Others might look to nurture the quality of kindness and compassion. Still, others might look to nurture productivity. The answer will be as unique as you and as changing as time itself every week. Let me share my experience in the hope that it is relatable in some way and maybe helps answer some questions that might be coming up. I am a very emotional person who feels things deeply, expresses things deeply, and sometimes this can be a lot to carry on a day-to-day basis. Often in the aftermath of an emotional experience, I can feel a little ungrounded. For example, certain events of the last couple of weeks caused me some pain. And as I was recovering, I realized that 2 weeks had passed. 2 weeks of my life had gone in on and off distress. 2 weeks of racing thoughts. Basically 2 weeks where often the dominant quality of my time was restlessness and disappointment. When I realized this, I was a little startled. And it took me a minute to kind of get a hang of the fact that I was losing time to qualities that I don't want to increase in my life. But instead of reprimanding myself or judging myself, I decided to ask myself, if I do not want the quality of my time to reek of disappointment, for example, what do I want it to look like? The answer was simple, resounding, if I may say so. I wanted the quality of imagination and magic infused in my time. I wanted to nourish a sense of creativity. Now that I had this feedback, it was up to me to act on it. And I decided to set aside time in the week to create something, anything. In the meanwhile, I also started reading a book on creativity. It's called Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, and I highly recommend it. It has a very unique perspective on creativity. Basically, by asking myself this question and coming up with a plan to set aside time to increase a specific quality, I woke up to the realization that even in the midst of uncomfortable circumstances, there are aspects of my daily or weekly living that I can influence to elevate the quality of my time here on earth. Now, next year, in 2023, when I realized the year went by so fast, and yes, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have this realization again, I will know that I infused in that year moments of intentional creativity for my soul. I decided a quality that I wanted to increase, and I acted on it. I hope this podcast was useful. I always tell people, take what resonates and leave the next. I've said this before on some of my episodes, that we as a society have focused so much on productivity and metrics that emotional well-being has taken a backseat. My podcast is a way for me to navigate my own way back to my emotions and heart and share my learnings with you all, in the hope that it resonates in some way and leaves a small light flickering in your life as it does in mine. If you like this content, I will be honored if you subscribed, because it helps my channel and it would help other people reach this content. In closing, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for finding this episode worthy of your time. I hope that these few minutes that you spent with me elevated the quality of your time. Until next time.